Welcome to Smart Girl Philippines. I'm Irish, and today we're ranking foreigners by attractiveness. And I've got Jinky and Cherry here to help me. We're gonna put each foreigner into one of four categories: turn off, less attractive, more attractive, and turn on. So let's get started right away. First, we've got 3 inches or 6 inches. Okay, so 3 inches is a little short but still works great because we're all tight and tiny here. But we think 6 inches is more fun because it makes it a challenge for most Filipinos. Anything bigger than that might be a problem for a lot of us. So we'll put 3 inches in the less attractive category and 6 inches in the more attractive category. But if you've got 7 inches for me, I'll take it. Next, we've got under 30 or over 30. Okay? So under 30 guys might have more physically attractive bodies, but a lot of men age like wine and don't start to look really handsome until their 30s or 40s or 50s. Plus, guys under 30 are usually dumb shits with less free time, less stability, and less money. Duh! Guys over 30 usually know how to take care of a Filipina both inside and outside the bedroom. And they usually know what they want and aren't afraid to do what it takes to get it. So, under 30 is definitely less attractive for us, and over 30 is a lot more attractive here. Next, we've got first time in the Philippines or seventh trip to the Philippines. Okay? So, if it's a guy's first time in the Philippines, it's a huge turn on because it means we get to be his first Filipina. If it's his seventh trip, then we know he probably already has a lot of Filipina girlfriends and he already knows how things works here. And so, he's probably going to treat us less like a gentleman. So, first time is a huge turn on and seventh trip is a huge turn off. It's okay if it's your 7th trip or 17th trip. Just don't advertise that to a Filipino you're interested in dating. All you have to do is say you visited here 3 years ago and really wanted to come back again. You don't have to tell her about your 15 trips before that. Next, we've got divorced or never been married. Okay? So, if we meet a guy who has never been married, then it hurts our brain because we're trying to figure out if the guy is lying or if he's telling the truth. If he's telling the truth, why hasn't he ever been married? Is he undateable? Is he gay? Is he a womanizer? Is he an asshole? It uses up too many brain cells for us to figure it out. So, if a guy says he's divorced, then it's easy to understand. He was married. Then the girl was probably a bitch. And now he's single and ready to mingle. That's easier on our brain to figure out. So, divorce is more attractive and never been married is less attractive. And just to be clear, obviously, if a guy has never been married, that's preferable to a guy with lots of drama in his life because the never been married guy is probably going to have more money and be more focused on us. But generally speaking, a divorced guy is simply going to be more attractive at the start of a relationship because it's easier to understand. Next, we've got low sex drive or super horny. Okay, so this is an easy one. If you know anything about Filipinas, you know we're the horniest women on planet Earth. So yeah, there's a lot of boom boom happening in the Philippines. Just for fun, I did the math. And if my calculations are correct, there are around 7,000 people having sex in the Philippines every single minute, 24 hours a day. So, low sex drive is going to be a turn off and super horny is a big turn on. So, just understand that you might not be able to keep up with the physical demands of a Filipina if you show up here. But Don't worry, it's easy to buy Viagra here, and Filipinos have superpowers that can make any sausage stand up. Next, we've got six-pack abs or soft belly. Okay, so nice abs are impressive, but they're too hard. I want a guy with a built-in pillow because it feels so much better when you're doing it dog style. More cushion for the pushing. Duh! Most Filipinos are going to prefer a guy with a soft belly because it looks more normal and seems more inviting. So, abs is less attractive and soft belly is more attractive. Next, a funny guy or a serious guy. Most Filipinas are gonna be more attracted to the funny guy. If you know anything about our culture, you know we love to laugh and joke and have fun. So, the funny guy is more attractive and the serious guy is less attractive to us. But this doesn't mean we love clowns. So, don't show up and think being corny and talking too much is going to attract a Filipina. All you have to do is smile, have a sense of humor, and be a little witty, especially in the bedroom. Let's be honest, two strangers getting naked together in a room is a little awkward. So, it's better if you have a sense of humor about it. Next, a guy who wants sex on a first date or willing to wait. Of course, we're hypocrites because even if we want sex on a first date, we still prefer a guy who wants to wait. And that's because every Filipino wants what she can't have. Filipinos like having a bit of a challenge when it comes to getting a guy to drain his sausage into her mango. So, the guy who wants sex on a first date is the turn off. And a guy who is willing to wait is a huge turn on for us. But don't worry, we'll make it up for you with 2 rounds on a second date. Next, beard or no beard? Okay, so beards are mostly a turn-off for us Filipinos. But, confession time! One time, a guy went down on me with a beard and it actually felt really good because it tickled my mango in just the right way. But the overwhelming majority of foreigners who show up with facial hair just look weird. And clean-shaven looks really yummy. So, beard goes in the turn-off zone and no beard goes in the turn-on zone. Next, tattoos or no tattoos. Okay, so we're hypocrites again because more and more Filipinos are getting tattoos these days. But we still prefer our men to not have any ink. So no tattoos is going to be more attractive and guys with lots of tattoos will be less attractive to us. But if you want to get a tattoo of my name on your then that might be a huge turn on. Because then other Filipinos will know it's my property. Next, while we're downstairs, we've got shaved or hairy. It's really up to you, but we prefer shaved so we don't get hair in our mouth, duh! So, shaved is more attractive and not shaved is less attractive. A little forest is okay, but it shouldn't be a crazy jungle down there. And here in the Philippines, right before Valentine's Day, every Filipino is shaving their downstairs and there's a huge razor shortage in the Philippines. So, that should give you a clue for what Filipinos like. Next, want kids or doesn't want kids. If you know anything about Filipinas, you know for most of us, our ultimate goal in life is to have a lot of kids. And especially if it's with a foreigner, because mixed babies are so beautiful. So, a guy who wants kids is a huge turn on, and a guy who doesn't want kids is usually going to be a huge turn off. And if Brad Pitt ever shows up here, he's not going to have a choice because I'm going to show him how we do things in the jungle and I'm going to get his baby juice in my belly. Don't be scared, Brad. I'll be gentle. Next, condom or no condom. Do you eat a candy bar with the wrapper? No? I don't know any Filipinas who are excited about a guy using a piece of plastic to fuck them. Gross! We want skin to skin. And I let you in on a little secret. Condoms here are what you use when you're either cheating or you're having sex with prostitutes. So, if you want to use a condom with a Filipina you're in a relationship with, then it's going to be a huge turn off. And no condom is going to be a huge turn on. But Irish, what about the report about the 500% increase in HIV cases in the Philippines over the last several years? Well, I'm glad you asked because around 90% of those cases were attributed to male-on-male sexual contact. And the Philippines still has an exponentially lower prevalence of HIV than Thailand and the United States. So, if you're worried about diseases, it's quick and easy to get tested here. And obviously, you shouldn't be having unprotected sex with street walkers, duh! And if you don't want to have a baby, just pull out. No condom or no fun for you. Those are my rules. Take it or leave it. And hopefully you leave it inside. Next, cologne or natural body odor. Guys, there's a reason that you'll see men's fragrances for sale everywhere in the malls here. That's because Filipinos are attracted to guys who smell good. So, natural is going to be a huge turnoff, and a guy who's wearing cologne is going to be a huge turn on. Of course, I see occasional comments from guys who say that cologne is toxic and smells like piss and has chemicals and that natural body odors are more enticing to a woman. Okay? Whatever you say, have fun sucking your own sausage tonight. Next, just arrive or leaving tomorrow. This one is tricky because Filipinas are extremely motivated by deadlines because nothing happens in the Philippines without a deadline. But a guy who just arrived here is just too exciting to pass up because if we miss our opportunity to snag you, then some other Filipinas is going to get you. So this one is a coin toss. But the girls and I talked and we think a guy who just arrived is a little more attractive than a guy who is leaving tomorrow. So, if you want to be really attractive, then just combine these two things together. You just arrive here, but you're leaving in a week. Now, I'm getting wet. Next, a guy who uses Facebook Messenger or a guy who uses WhatsApp. Of course, those are the two primary ways of communicating here in the Philippines. Messenger is more personal and WhatsApp is more professional and it's what we would typically use to communicate with a business or with a stranger. But WhatsApp is also what most guys use to chat with prostitutes or use to cheat with because it's more private. So, a guy who is using Messenger to chat with us is more attractive because it's more personal. Next, morning boom boom or evening desserts. Okay, so Filipinos are wild creatures from the jungle who like to come out at night. So, a guy who likes to play in the evening is more attractive, and a guy who likes to play in the morning will be less attractive. But we know that morning is nature's natural Viagra for a guy. So, if we see a hard sausage in the morning, we're usually going to take advantage of the opportunity. And we really don't want you walking around with a loaded bazooka all day. So, that's why we invented something called a Filipina alarm clock. Trust me, you like it. Just lay there and close your eyes and think of something yummy while you slowly wake up. Next, a foreigner staying in a hotel or a foreigner staying in a house or condo. In case you didn't know, Filipinos are extremely private and we don't want other people gossiping about our business. So of course, our first choice would be to hook up with a guy staying in a house because it's more private. Our next preference would be a guy in a condo. Our least favorite option would be to meet a guy in a hotel if it's near where we live or work. Meeting a guy at a hotel makes us feel like a street walker, and sometimes we have friends who work at the hotel who might gossip about us. But sometimes there's no other choice. So just be low key when you bring her to your hotel room and don't do anything to draw attention to her or she's not going to want to come back. Basically, don't try to hug and kiss her in the lobby and take selfies and act like a dumb shit in public if you want the goodies. And last but not least, a 1 round or a 2 round guy. Of course, if anything is worth doing once, it's worth doing twice. So, if a guy can give us 2 pops instead of 1, it's going to be more attractive. So, 2 pops is more attractive and 1 pop is less attractive. So, be sure to drink lots of fluids when you show up here. But don't worry if you're a 1 round guy because I'll still be able to get 2 pops out of you if I want to. And that's it. We did it! Guys, if you think the girls did a great job, then feel free to leave a tip for them by hitting the super thanks button or by clicking the PayPal link in the description below. So, we can buy some red horse and Jollibee. And the girls get really moody when they don't get their red horse and Jollibee. Right, girls? Thanks so much for watching and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button for the good luck of the Philippines. Now, don't go anywhere. I'm gonna need 1 more round.